Oh, my mic was muted the entire time. Wow. Was wondering why I couldn't hear myself. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hope. All right, there we go. I can hear myself. Perfect. All right. Let's see. I'm just gonna do some live coding. So I don't know, man. I'll take some suggestions from you guys, but I'm currently working on the Discord bot in case you guys. I don't know if I announced it though, because I have a private repository on GitHub, but I've been working on this bot. I've been working on setting it up for the past, literally, I think, when did I start this? I mean, we can look at the GitHub repository. I'm probably going to make it public soon, but I started, I think, 6 days ago. So it took me like about 4 days to really set up everything, but yeah, I'll probably make this a public repository so that people can, you know, people can benefit from this. I'll actually show you guys how everything works. It's pretty much like the command handler, but it's actually pretty cool. There's a lot of things that I'm taking into consideration. So it's kind of like the commando framework. So it makes sure, ensures that like before someone uses a command, it's going to check all the permissions. It's going to check to see if the person who used the command is an owner, and a whole bunch of stuff. And the nice thing about this is that I have a server set up, so it's for automatic deployments. And I'll actually show you guys how it works in just a sec. It is 7:11 p.m. I'm on Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, hey guys. I'm playing music in the background, but I can't, I have it muted because I don't want to get copyright striked. So anyways, let's see. I'll zoom in a little bit, and I'll zoom in here too, so you guys can at least see, this stuff much better. But anyways, so yeah, so pretty much, I guess I don't want to like just bore you guys by showing you code, so I'll just show you like some cool stuff that goes on. So let me actually implement a command. So for example, I don't know, do you guys want to give me an idea for a command? And we can try to implement it right now. Nothing too complicated because I gotta think about it, but um, I'm taking suggestions. Oh, no suggestions. We got a quiet crowd. Okay. What is that CMD type program? That is Windows PowerShell. I actually did a video on how to customize it, like I think 2 days ago. So yeah, it's pretty easy to customize it. But yeah, it's the Windows terminal. You can download it in the make what efficient. Make which one efficient? The what is a way to make that more efficient? My bot is a I'm sorry, I completely like didn't see your question. You said my bot is a color that spams embeds of the available color roles. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe you can limit it. Maybe like you keep track of every couple seconds you can like limit it so that it doesn't go to the next role. Wouldn't it be crazy if we just coded a ticket bot right now in version 12? I don't even know if I have all the time right now because I gotta go to bed at like 10 because I have to be up early. But I mean, we can try. Should I code a ticket bot right now? That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty dope. Make an eval command. But okay, let me just show you guys how pretty much this whole thing works. So we're gonna make a simple command. So I guess we can do like a say command, I guess. So I have everything organized into folders. Hopefully you guys can see that. But you can see in this source folder, it's pretty much similar to how I structure all of my code whenever I do my tutorials. So we have the source folder, we have our main bot file, and this is pretty much just a file or a class that extends the base Discord client class, because I wanted to add a couple of more properties. So for you guys, when you guys use the command handler, you attach a property onto the client object. So you'll attach like the commands, the events, and etc. But this class itself extends the client class, so it has all of the properties, the methods, the events that the client has. But with the bot class itself, we can add multiple other fields that we want. So I can have the commands, which takes care of all of the commands, which I'll show you guys in just a sec. But let's see. Okay. And then you can see I have a bunch of other files too, but we're not going to worry about, all this crazy stuff. We're just going to go inside the commands folder, and I guess I can create a miscellaneous command. So we'll call this, I guess, say.ts. Well, typically this would actually be maybe in moderation. It depends on how you want people to use it. Let's see, make an eval command, music bot, global chat, ticket transcript. Yeah, we got a lot of great suggestions. I don't think I'll be able to take all of them today, but we can try at least, some simple things. But I just want to show you guys how this works, and I'm going to make this repository open source, so you guys can actually, take a look at it. You guys can see how things work, and if you want to contribute to this bot, I'll show you guys how to do that in just a sec. Well, let me just go ahead and create a simple command. So let's do export default. So we're going to create the say command. So this is going to be a class. Just call it a say command, and we're going to go ahead and extend the base command class. So whenever you follow the whenever you use the command handler, you guys are used to doing things like module.exports, and then you'll do something like this. You'll do something like module.exports equals, and then you'll attach a bunch of properties on there. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but personally for me, I don't really like that. So I started looking into classes and thinking of ways how I can implement that with a class. And I was like, instead of using JavaScript, let me actually use TypeScript, because, TypeScript is actually a pretty awesome language. It's pretty much just JavaScript, but with a bunch of other features like abstract classes, access specifiers. Yeah, like most of the code that I write, you're probably going to be able to understand it because it's literally just JavaScript with, again, a bunch of other features. But anyway, so we're going to extend the base command class, which if you want to take a look at it, we got to actually import this class. So let's import that. Twitter feeds. Yeah, I could do Twitter feeds. Let's see what else. What if there were beans? I'm not sure. Ticket to transcript. Yeah, I think I definitely will make another ticket bot. My next couple plans is to make a ticket bot and a modmail bot. The ticket bot, though, if I do make it, I want to make it something like a lot different than the current ticket bot, because I know in the first ticket bot that I made, it didn't use a database, and there were a lot of issues with that ticket bot. And so I decided, let me go a little bit all out and make a better ticket bot with a database. And I like that one a lot better because it made the channels numeric instead of like having the ID. How do you mass trans compile TS? I mean, if you're asking how to compile TypeScript, all I gotta do is I just gotta run this script, npm run build. And what this will do is it's gonna run the tsc command. So it basically runs tsc -- build. And you can see we have an error over here, which is pretty cool, right? Errors are pretty cool. With TypeScript, though, if you have any issues, it's going to throw an error in the compilation process, which is pretty good because it makes you least prone to errors. So in JavaScript, there are a lot of situations where you might pass in, let's say, a numeric value for a string, and that's unexpected. So with TypeScript, we can, check certain types before we even do anything else, which is very, very, very handy. So let's just continue implementing this command. So what I gotta do is I just gotta invoke the constructor and then call the superclass. So for this command, the name is going to be say, and we're just passing parameters into the superclass's constructor. And the category for this is just going to be miscellaneous. And aliases, we don't need any aliases for now. And permissions, we'll leave that alone. Okay. Now, The nice thing about this setup over here is that we can also invoke something called the command config. Okay, now the command config is actually something pretty cool. So if you look at the command config, we can see that there are a bunch of, we have 3 fields, and we have a bunch of methods. And again, it might seem daunting to you at first, but really all this class is really used for is just checking the arguments, making sure that, because again, some commands expect arguments. Like if you're doing a simple kit command, you need to have an argument, like an ID, at least one. If you're doing like a help command, sometimes you might not need an argument. So this class takes care of all that for us. So every single time before I invoke my command, I'm gonna reference this command configurable and check to see, how I need to check to see if the command itself requires, arguments. If it does, we're gonna parse those arguments and then we're gonna pass them in to the command's exec function. And you're gonna see the structure looks very similar to the command handler, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have used before. But anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna reference this, because right now we are extending the base command class. So we have all of the properties and methods inherited from this abstract superclass. Okay, we have the command handler, which pretty much gives us access to the commands. We have the name, category, aliases, permissions, and command config. And then we have this function over here, which we're going to implement. But let's just do... We're going to reference the get command configurable, and we're going to go ahead and say, for this say command, we expect the user to have an argument. So we're going to go ahead and do set expect args to true. This basically means that this command needs to have an argument, or else it won't work. Okay, we can do other things too, such as set the delimiter, so we can change the way how we split our arguments. So let's say, for example, if we wanted to split it with commas, we can split it with commas. If we want to split it with spaces, colons, etc., we can do all that fun stuff. And we can also do other things that we're not going to worry about for now, which is, not really interesting. But so we're going to set that, and now I'm going to go ahead and override, or I'm sorry, not override, implement the exec method, which is this abstract method over here. If you've ever used commando, a lot of this seems very similar. When you have your commands, there's a function I think called exec or run. But that function, or that method rather, is basically an abstract method that you have to implement, because every single command's exec function is going to be different, right? Every single command has different logic. So we're going to implement this exec function. So we're going to do public async, or is it async? I don't remember. I don't even know my own methods. Okay, there we go. And we're going to take in the correct amount of arguments. So we take in the bot, okay? So for your command handler, you would pass in the client, you would pass in the message object, as well as the array of arguments. Sometimes people pass in a string, but we're just going to copy this and paste that there. And this function just returns a promise with a void resolved value. And let me just actually import these classes so we don't have any linting errors. Do I have a join message tutorial? I'm not sure. What do you mean by join message tutorial? Like when someone first joins the server? If so, then I might have one. I'm not sure. I might have one. I'll have to check. And hey, iCyro MC. Do you work in the CS field? I do. I'm currently a software engineer, and I'm very grateful for my job and the fact that I'm still able to work even during tough times in, with the whole coronavirus stuff that's going on. So I'm very grateful for that. I actually started not too long ago, so I was very lucky. Okay, anyway, so let's actually implement this command. So what we're going to do is, if we invoke the say command, we're going to just do message.channel.send. And for the arguments, let's see. We need one argument. The way it's going to parse it, though, is we're going to use a space to parse it. So we're probably going to have to do args.join it with a space. Okay. So you guys get to see, live coding, and you guys get to see that, when I'm not making videos, it's a lot of trial and error, right? I gotta, even though I can assume that this might work, I still gotta test it. So let's just try that. So we have the say command. So now I'm going to open up my terminal. Okay, and we can see our bot restarted. So I currently have my bot running on 2 places. I have my bot running on my live server as well as my local host. So the command is going to invoke twice. Okay, so if I want to do my prefix, which is win, let me zoom in a little bit. So let's just try say, and that did not work. And we can see that cannot send an empty message. Okay, so there's something wrong. Oh, okay, I see. We actually need to type something, so. And you can see win say hello world. There you go. So we can easily create commands using this, system where we just have our class, the name of the class that we want, extending the base command. Okay, and then we can implement our logic inside this exec method. And that's pretty much how the Discord commando framework works, if you guys have ever used it before. So I'd highly suggest you check that out. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it is updated, so you guys could use it with, version 12. But anyways, so yeah, for the new people who just joined and are interested, basically we're implementing commands using my own structure that I created from scratch. So, and like I said, I will leave this code public so you guys can, take a look at it. You guys can, clone it, copy it, add on to it. And if you guys feel like, there's anything that I could do to improve the source code, you can make a pull request. What is the best free hosting for bots? DigitalOcean, hands down DigitalOcean. Let me show you something real quick. I use DigitalOcean personally. I've been using it for the past 1.5 years. If you are a student, you can get DigitalOcean for 10 months if you pay for the $5 credit each month. So I would highly recommend DigitalOcean over anything. You could use Amazon Web Services. The only problem that I have with that is Amazon Web Services is pretty overwhelming for beginners because there's like a whole bunch of different technologies that they offer. So DigitalOcean itself has like just very little, it's very minimal, and it's very easy to use, very easy to set up. So I want to show you guys, I'll show you guys how I deploy my applications real quick. I actually just set this up like about 2 weeks ago, and this is actually pretty cool. So I might as well show you guys how, I set this up so you guys can learn from it. And I'll make a separate video on this too, probably. Anyways, so right now this is my server. And if I run PM2 on my server, you can see that I actually have 2 bots running. I have Cinderace, which is the bot that takes care of all of these suggestions over here. So I actually made it so that people couldn't, react to their own message. But unfortunately, I forgot to push it. And yeah. So pretty much, you can go on here and make suggestions, and the bot itself will take care of, just reacting to the messages and making sure no one else can react with other random emojis. Okay. And so if I want, I can restart my bot by just doing, PM2 restart, Winston bot. Okay, and that's going to just restart my bot. It doesn't really do anything right now because we have our project running on locally, but I'm gonna stop the Winston bot. Okay, and I can also stop Cinderace, but I'll just leave it on for now. Hey Kai Killer, I really appreciate the awesome comment, man. Sam, alright, I'm bored of work. What's he up to? I'm just coding, dude. I'm showing people my recent project that I've been working on. This is going to be an awesome project, honestly. Like, I'm putting in so much time and effort into this. And, to really explain everything is just going to take, like, probably, I don't even know, dude, 24 hours or a whole, week to really explain it. I don't even know. There's a lot that's going on in this, whole project that I can't wait to really, showcase it. But you guys are kind of getting, like, a preview. So, yeah, pretty awesome. But, yeah, basically, if I want to create more commands, I can just follow the same structure. So if I want to create, let's say, I don't even know. What kind of commands should I even create? A stats command. So let's do a stats.ts command. And, alright, so let's go inside the stats.ts file. And what I'll do is I'll just create another class. And we'll just do stats command extends base command. And we got to import base command because that's our own code that we wrote. And if you guys are confused about the whole concept of, extending abstract classes, superclasses, subclasses, I would highly recommend you know, and I'm going to do a shameless plug, you check out my recent video series on object-oriented programming. I spent about like 12 hours, you know, just writing the slides as well as recording, and I feel like you guys would really learn a lot from it, because object-oriented programming is very important in, you know, in development. And if you don't know, Discord.js itself is object-oriented based, so it would definitely help you out with understanding the entire library a lot more easier. So let's go ahead and just implement this stats command. So we'll go ahead and just call the superclasses constructor. So we're invoking the base command constructor, and I'm going to give this the name of stats, and we're going to give it a category of miscellaneous. And aliases, we can just leave that alone. I haven't implemented aliases yet, so if we try to, you know, check for aliases, it's not going to work. Okay, so I'll implement this one command, and I'll go into the you know, the abstract stuff, what's going on underneath the hood, how the commands are being registered and stuff. And you guys will notice that if you use the command handler, it's pretty much the same thing. So for the stats command, for now, what we'll do is we will just, let's see, we're going to get the command configurable. Remember, this object itself is just responsible for setting the delimiter, so how we, you know, separate our arguments. It's responsible for making sure that we expect arguments when we need it, and when we don't, we set the field to false. So we're gonna do set expect args. So this could actually be a little bit different, but if you wanted to create, you know, if you wanted to create like a very strict stats command that expects an argument, you could do so. So we'll just say for now, we want this to have an argument. Let's see. This seems nice. I'm gonna head back to your tutorials. It's been very helpful. Keep going, bro. Yeah, I appreciate Min's MWT. And don't stop coding. Never stop coding. How do you make your own VS Code snippets? Pressing tab on the keyboard and other code pops up. Oh. Well, if you mean by like, you know, quick snippets, like HTML. So for example, I can create an HTML file, and I can just do HTML-5 and tab, and I can create like a really quick snippet like that. You can install something called Emmet, E-M-M-E-T. Okay, I'll even type it on the chat. Emmet. And that pretty much allows you to, you know, create very quick snippets of code with, and it supports a lot of things too, like React, JavaScript, all sorts of things. The auto import though, I'm not really sure where the auto import comes from, so I can't really answer that. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue. So we're gonna do public async exec, and this is going to take in a couple arguments. So it's going to take in the bots. Let's see what else is going to take in the message object, and then args, which is just going to be an array of strings. Okay, and this is just going to return. So if you guys are wondering what, like, you know, all of these like colons and like these you know, capitalizations are, this is basically type inference, type annotation, which is one of the beautiful things of TypeScript. You can infer types on parameters. So if you try to pass in like a string for this parameter over here, it's going to throw an error. When I typed import, a bunch of things popped up. I'm honestly not even sure. Yeah, I'm honestly not really sure. I mean, what I did do was I did something like this. Look. See, I did base command. Oh, are you talking about this? This is IntelliSense, and that's, I think, supported with the language that you have. So I'm on TypeScript, so it's going to pop up like the actual objects and stuff. So anyways, that's going to import the base command. And I'll actually show you guys, before I end the stream, I'll show you guys how I test my code now, because it's actually a lot better. It's a better way to test your code using a testing framework like Jest. And I'll show you guys how I've been testing my code, which prevents a lot of bugs from happening during production. Okay. Okay, so this stats command, I did a video on this like I think 2 days ago. So I think we'll just do like something simple. So we'll say something like, okay, well, the first argument is going to be an ID. So we can do something like const ID equals args. So that's going to give us the ID, and it's giving us a linting error. Okay. And what we're going to do is we want to get the ID from the, let's see. So if we want to get an actual member object or user object, we'd have to reference the guild first. So to do that, we would just reference message.guild. So what I'm going to do is I will declare a variable called guild, and I'm going to destructure the guild property from the message object. So if you don't know, the message object has a guild property, and this is called destructuring. So we're basically extracting the guild object, the guild property, from the message object and assigning it to this constant variable, and I can do whatever I want with it. Can Discord bot be hosted on GitHub? So here's the misconception a lot of people have. You don't host your bot on GitHub. You host the Git repository that has all of your source files on GitHub. And what GitHub does is every single time you make a push to your GitHub, something like Heroku is going to listen to those events. So for example, when you make a push, Heroku is going to listen to those events, and it's going to do all the entire builds. If you've watched videos on, how to deploy a Heroku application or how to deploy a Discord bot using Heroku, you'll see that in the overview, there's a new build that happens every single time we make a push to the branch that we're listening to. So you are putting your code on GitHub, but GitHub itself is not really running the bot. It's Heroku, it's the backend services that's running your bot for you. Okay, so hopefully that clears things up. Okay, so let's see. Let's just create a simple stats command. So we'll do const embed equals new message embed. And what I want to do is, well, first, before we do anything else, let's actually get the, we need to make sure that the user actually exists in the guild. So we're going to go ahead and do const member equals guild. And we want to reference the members property. Now in version 12, this is a guild member manager. So if you're in version 11, this is a collection, so you would just do .get. But in version 12, we have to reference the cache, which is pretty much just like the same thing, but with an extra property. And you can reference .get. And we're going to pass in the ID, and this should return a member instance, okay? And I can even type in for that too by doing colon guild member, okay? And so if it doesn't return the member, it is going to, the value is going to be undefined. It's going to be a falsy value, which means that the value is false. That's pretty much what it is. If it's falsy, that means that any condition will not be executed. So for example, I can do if member to check to make sure that the member actually exists. And if, if that actually exists, what I'll do is I will just send a message to the channel saying that the member was found. So let's do message.channel.send. And if you want to mention the member, the easiest way to do that is by doing member. Okay, was found. I have a huge delay, do I? Oh, that sucks. Honestly, this is my first time streaming in like 500 years. I haven't streamed like for such a long time, so I completely forgot about the stream delay. But next time, I do plan on streaming more though. Most of the time, see, here's the thing, a lot of people want me to build like, web applications like a Discord dashboard. I did do a tutorial series on building like a backend so you can log in with Discord. But I feel like with those videos, I would rather do them like live so I can have like feedback, and it just takes a lot of time, to be honest. Like for me to make a video on that would probably take like, I don't know, maybe like over 2 hours or so. I would still do it though, but I'd rather just do it live because it's just much more fun. And plus, I get to also, explain everything that I'm doing at the same time, and not have to worry about like re-recording everything all over again. Anyways, so let's just test out this command. Okay. So let's see. Let's test out this command. So like I said, every single time you write a piece of code, my advice to you guys is to always test it. And if you're making a Discord bot, the best thing to do is to test your code by, just sending simple input. So my prefix command is win with a slash. And I'm going to do, I think, name of the stats. So let's just copy, I guess, my ID. And what this should do is should send a message to the channel. And you can see that we get feedback, right? It says Tom Crook was found. And basically that mentioned the user. And we used string interpolation to mention the member itself. Okay, and yeah, so we can go ahead and continue on. So if the member is found, okay, because remember, we don't necessarily know if the ID is valid ID or not. Okay, the only way we'll know if it's a valid ID, well, you could do a couple things. You could use a regular expression, and check to see if the well, not just a regular expression. You can just actually check to see if the number or the ID is a numeric value, and if it is, then we're good to go. But I think Discord IDs are all the same length. I'm not entirely sure. So you can also check to see what the length of the string is. But yeah, so if the member exists, then we want to continue. If it doesn't exist, we're just going to send a message. We're going to say else message.channel. Let's send, and I'll send an embed message. So what I'll do is I'll create the embed message out here so I can re-reference that variable. And then over here, I'll do embed.set description. We'll just say member with ID was not found. And then we can just send this embed. We can do a bunch of stuff. We can set the color, footer, all sorts of things. So if the member was found, then let's just get their stats. So we'll do something like, let's see, embed.set author. Personally, for me, I don't like embed titles. They just look really ugly. So I prefer using author as the title. So for the name, we'll do member.user.tag. So that will get them the username with discriminator. No, this is JavaScript. And let's get the icon. So to get the icon, we'll go ahead and do member.user.displayAvatar URL. Okay, and let's see. I want to do this. Let's set the author. Let's set the let's add a field actually, and let's just get a couple things. Let's get all the roles that they're in. So roles, and to get the roles, we can easily just do a simple keyboard's not registering. This is JavaScript. We can do guild.roles. So roles is a property on the guild object, okay? And remember, in version 12, all of your collections are now managers. So we would do guild.roles.cache. So this gets us the collection. And then what I can do is I can map this collection and get all of the string values of the role. So we're going to do r dot, let's see, toString. Okay. And this is basically just going to get us the mentioned role. So you can see that when we actually execute this command, it's going to mention the roles. And we're in TypeScript, so I'm going to do role. Okay. And I think after this, we're going to go ahead and do a simple dot join. And we're just going to join it with a space. So this is the same thing that I did in my tutorial. But let's just, what's going on over here? Okay, so let's actually send this embed just to make sure it works. Like I said, every single time you write a piece of code, you always want to test your code. You don't want to write like 500 lines of code and then test it, because you're going to end up having a bug that is going to be very hard to debug. When you periodically test your code, or every so often you test your code, you can easily identify bugs that come up very early. So if I do win stats, and if I do this guy over here, it should send me an embed message with all of the roles. Well, actually, no, this is the roles that the guild has. Let's actually do the roles the member has. So we're going to just change guild to member. I'm going to save, and we can see the bot is going to restart. Okay, so let's go ahead, try this again. And there you go, we have just these basic roles. Nothing too crazy. Okay. What else can I do? Okay, so we know that this command is going to work. We can do a bunch of other stuff, but like I said, I've done this in the tutorial before, so just check that out. But I want to show you guys the fun stuff. Like, we haven't even gotten into the cool stuff yet. I'm going to show you guys how I deploy this bot. So I actually have to do something real quick on my server. So bear with me, because my server is running out of memory. I actually need to upgrade the memory and the processor probably. So it take me some time to do that. Okay, so my Cinderace bot just went down. Let me actually stop Cinderace. Okay, so the bot just went down. And let me just make sure that I have enough memory on my server. Okay, great. So this should not fail. Okay, so let me show you guys how I deploy my code. So right now, the way I have everything set up right now is I have my code repository on GitHub. Okay, so let's say if I make a change, For example, let's say right now we are in the info command. Let's see. Okay, so let's just say right now we are satisfied with our code. Okay, we can stage all of our changes and then we can commit them. So we can do something like git add. We already did get add already, but we're gonna do git commit, and I'm gonna go ahead and do feature, and we're gonna go ahead and say stats command. Not the best commit message, but I just want to show you guys a simple example. So we'll just say implemented say command and stats command. And now what I have set up, this is called a git hook. So pretty much every single time before I make a commit, it's going to run a bunch of scripts to make sure that everything in our project is good. Okay, so you can see that it says it failed to commit, and a couple things are happening. One, it failed to lint, and you can see over here there's a linting error over here. So we go to stats, we have an error over here, so it's expecting a line break. So I can actually fix these linting errors if I just do npm run lint fix. You're gonna see this is going to change in just a sec. That fixes it for us. Okay, and that should fix all the linting errors. So we can actually run this again now. Let me just stage this. Okay, and let's run this again. And now you're gonna see all of these scripts that are being ran. And I have a bunch of test scripts that are being executed. And I'm not gonna get into that right now. We'll get into that later. So now our project is being built out. So this part over here, tse build. This part is building out the entire TypeScript project, transpiling it down into JavaScript. If you want to take a look at it, we have this folder called lib, and we can see that we have a bunch of just JavaScript. And obviously all this stuff, it's still readable, but it looks pretty ugly. And, obviously I wouldn't really suggest anyone to, actually, edit any of this. This is all transpiled code. You can see it. So if I were to put side by side, let's put the info command side by side with info command over here. And you can see that this is the info command.ts file, and this is the info command.js file. Hey, not frozen development Minecraft. And how do you embed JS? Do you mean like an embed message, or I'm not really sure what you mean by embed JS. But anyways, yeah. So you can see the differences, right? Obviously, it's pretty crazy over here, so you don't want to really worry so much about this. If you're very eager, then, go ahead and read all of this and try to understand it, but I wouldn't really suggest it. If you want, you could, but anyway, so our commit was successful. Okay, so now I am on a feature branch over here. So typically what I would do is I would create a new Git branch, but just for this demonstration, I'm going to show you guys what I want to do. So I'm going to push all of my commits to GitHub. So over here on my repository, if I go over to the feature branch over here, we're gonna get a new commit. Okay, let me go over to feature branch over here. We're gonna get a new commit in just a sec. So let's just push. It's gonna ask for my password. Okay, so that's gonna push, and we're good to go. If I refresh, you're gonna see we have 7 commits now. Okay, and it's saying that this branch is 2 commits ahead of the master branch. Okay, so now typically in an open source project, what you would do is you would make a pull request after what you would do is you would clone the repository or fork it. You would make changes, and you would you would create a branch, make your changes, commit those changes, and then push those changes to your own branch. Okay, and once you do that, you make a pull request to either the develop branch or the master branch. So that way you're basically saying, hey, look, the contributors of this repository, look, I took your code, I took your project, I implemented my own feature, or I fixed up some bugs. Take a look at this, review it, and let me know what you think. Okay, so what's going to happen is they're going to look at the pull request, they're going to review it. If they like the changes, they can approve it, or they can immediately merge it. Some repositories have a certain amount of approval count that you need before you can actually merge, but in this case I can actually just directly create a pull request. So I will actually do that right over here. So we're gonna go ahead, so we're on master, we're gonna do it to develop. Okay, and let's go ahead and do a new pull request. So we're gonna go from feature branch into develop. Okay, and notice how the commit message that I wrote is right over here. Okay, nothing too crazy, and we can take some time and review all of our changes. So you can see we added 16 lines. We created a say.ts file, and this is what it looks like. We created a stats.ts file. This is what it looks like, and that's it. So we're gonna say, hey, look, this is what our changes are. Let's create the pull request. Okay, so now the contributors, the owners of the repository, can take a look at your pull request. So let's say, for example, hey, I'm the owner. Let's say someone in this chat created a pull request. They were like, dude, you got to fix this bug, man. Like, it's been happening for like so long. You got to fix this bug. So they can make the pull request. I can look at it. So I'll take a look at it. And I'll say, hey, look, what did this guy do? Well, let's see. Some checks have not been completed yet. It says that we have, let's see. Oh, wait, I got to cancel my workflow real quick. Okay, let's do that real quick. Don't worry about that. Okay, so this should be good now. Hey, The Rice Show. Welcome to the stream. I'm just, going over, some basic workflows when it comes to specifically coding Discord bots, but, it could work in any situation. For some reason, saying some checks were not successful. I think that has to do with the previous merge request. You can see it failed over here. We're not going to worry about that, though. So it says this branch has no conflicts with base branch, so let's merge the pull request. So now we're going to go ahead and confirm the merge. So I'm going to open up a new tab over here. And in just 1 sec, we're going to get a new build. So I'm hoping this doesn't fail, because it failed earlier because my server didn't have enough memory to actually run every single script. But we shouldn't have any issues now. So if we go over to actions, we should get a new job queued up. Okay, so if you use Heroku, this is pretty much how things work underneath the hood. So we basically have our server listening to jobs. And what's going on over here is we're setting up the job. We're making sure that we're using Node.js version 12. And over here, we're running npm install. So it's going to look in the package.json file and install all of the dependencies. So that's what's going on over here. It's going to take a little bit of time because we have a lot of dependencies to install. Is the stream low? Do you mean like the quality or like the volume or stuff? Hey, the ramen noodles, welcome to the stream. Okay, so look, now you can see over here, we're running every single test, all the tests passed, right? Okay, so now watch this, look. If I try to run, like, let me actually exit my code over here. If I try to run my, let me do this really quick. Hopefully, okay, see, look, right now this command doesn't work, right? I just exited the process, okay? Now if we look over here, our job completed, okay? Our job just completed. Now watch this. I can run this command, and it should work. For some reason, it's not. Complete job. Let me actually check something. Oh, wait. We did restart the bot, so it should have restarted. I'm not sure why it's not picking up, though. Let me see. Oh, you know why? Because I actually stopped the bot, but it should have turned it online, though. So let me actually double check what's going on. That was an epic fail. Oh, I see. Wait. Hold on. I think it's actually logging in with the wrong token. Can you join my test server? Well, I'm actually probably going to make a new test server. I was thinking about this for a while. I was going to make a test server so that everyone can join, and everyone can, help contribute to just making bots and invite their own bots. Yeah, again, I'm not really sure. This is an epic fail. Let me figure out what's going on. Let's see. What is going on? Sorry about that. What terminal program is that? It is the Windows terminal. You can go to the Microsoft Store and download it. Assuming you're on Windows. Okay, so if I stop this bot, okay. So it's logging in with my other bot, which is not what I want. I don't know why it's logging in with my other bot. But it might be something with my bot token. I'm not sure. By the way, it should still work though. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's try nodemon lib index.js. Hopefully we don't get any errors. Okay. Did we build? Yes, we did build. And we should have all of our, let's see, develop code. Can you remake the ticket system but with a PC file to save tickets? With a PC file to save tickets. Do you mean like, I guess, what do you mean like PC file to save tickets? Like saving all the messages to like, I guess maybe a text file maybe? I could probably do that. And yeah, I really like this customization. Like it's pretty freaking awesome. Let me actually check something real quick. I'm on my server right now, so let me just make sure that we actually do have. So we have these commands. For some reason, they're not being registered. Let me try testing another command. Help. Okay, so none of my commands are working for some reason. I think it might be a build error. cd. Let's go into lib and let's go into commands. I really hope it's not. Yeah, I am not sure. Yeah, like the ticket bot. See, here's the thing. I don't want to make it too soon because a lot of I want to give people a time frame to make like a lot of suggestions to it, and I want to make like an even better ticket bot. I don't want to just make another ticket bot because that would just be it would be in my opinion it would be kind of like somewhat pointless if I made it right again, like all over again, from like just because there's differences with V11 V12 because someone could just read the documentation and just like look at what's different and just change it up. But I would want like a bunch of different suggestions. Like for me, I was thinking, maybe a different way we can implement ticket bots would be. So here's one thing that I didn't do in the last ticket bot. Okay, I don't think I did this. I can't remember because it's been like 3 months. But in the last ticket bot, I wanted to make a feature where for every single ticket that someone creates, I wanted to make it so that another user can add that user to their ticket and a max of 3. I don't remember if I actually fully did it though. I'm not sure. So I'll have to double check, but I'm not sure. Again, I'm not really sure why this I'm not really fully sure why this is not working. Because we did build a new project and we did initialize the app. We even manually ran it, but for some reason it's not working. And I am not sure why, which is pretty questionable. I'll actually double check just to make sure that it works locally. So let me check my, let's see, register. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so we are listening to the events. Let me try this. Let me run my bot locally. So let's do pm2 stop Winston bot. But yeah, again, if you have any suggestions on the ticket bot, again, like I said, I'm going to wait for a little bit. And I want to make sure it's like, an actual, good ticket bot, not like some, crappy one. I'm gonna be honest with you, the first one that I made was pretty garbage, if I'm being honest. That's why I made a second one, because the first one was pretty bad. And I actually wanted to wait until V12 came out. I was waiting so long for V12 to come out. I was waiting since I think maybe September or August. And I wanted to actually stop making Discord bot tutorials because I wanted to wait for V12 to come out. So I was like, you know what, when V12 comes out, I'll make a ticket bot. But I figured it would never come out, so I decided to just make the bot itself. And next thing you know, 1 month later, not even 1 month, 3 weeks later, V12 comes out. I'm like, really? Okay, let me run my bot real quick. So our bot, I'm not sure where this is being ran from, because I'm not running it here, and I am not running it here. So where else could it be ran from? I'm not sure where this is logged in from. That's so weird. Okay, so Winston is logged in. Let's check the stats. Okay, so it works locally. I'm not sure why it doesn't work on my server, and that is very questionable. The only thing that I could probably think about is that I don't know, to be honest. Like, I really don't know, because it was working earlier, but it wasn't working all of a sudden. That's what I did with my ticket bot for a service I ran. People seem to like it a lot. Same with being able to count the tickets made. You know what? Honestly, yeah, I think you guys get the idea of this whole thing. Basically, what should have happened was the whole build should have succeeded, which it did succeed. and over here it should have restarted the entire bot, and it did. Like, you can see that it did restart the bot, but apparently the environment variables were messed up. I'm not entirely sure you know, why that would be the case, because I'm checking my environment variables right now and they all seem to be good, so I don't know why that would be an issue, but I would have to look into it. Try resetting token, re-adding it on your VPS. Yeah, the thing is though, it's using my other bot application, which isn't a problem. The problem is, for some reason, the commands are not being registered, and I do not know why. And so yeah, like, we know that it works locally because I just tested it right now, but for some reason it's not working on the server, which is concerning. Like, so if I exit this and let's try do nodemon. You know, actually, you know, I think I might know exactly why. Did I forget to register the... Okay, no, I did register both commands. Okay. Right over here, I'm over here. The event, it did say it was logging in, but let's see. I don't want to bore you guys to death with, you know, all this not fun stuff over here. Well, it is fun after, you know, you get the hang of it and you get the setup. And I will make a video in the future on how to set up, like, your own continuous deployment server. I just have I want to become a software engineer. How do I learn to be good as you at code? Get good. Get good. 2 words. Get good. No, on the serious though, if you want to actually become a software engineer, for those who are wondering, I don't know people's backgrounds, so I'm just assuming that a lot of people like to do this for fun, and some people like to do this because it's a hobby that they, you know, if they're in college, they want to do this for fun. You know, for you, you know, for anyone in general that wants to become a software engineer, you just need to keep practicing. That's it. That's the same way how I've improved, and yeah. Who else is confused here though? Okay. I'm gonna try the deployment one more time. Let's see. This time, this is what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go inside. We're gonna do another deployment. Okay, so we shouldn't have any updates. Okay. Let's see. Well, that's weird. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. There we go. Alright, let's see. Okay, so yeah, this works locally, so that's good. Yeah, we're gonna try another deployment. I'm not sure really what's going on with the backend. Again, it's just so weird that that's happening. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do another, what should I add? I'll create another, I guess I'll create a simple, let's see. We'll just do, we'll create a mute command. We're not gonna actually implement the mute command, but we'll just create like a base one so we can, you know, base it off of. Nothing too crazy. And yeah, we'll just set this to true, and then we'll just do something like message channel send mute command. All right, so I'm just gonna push this to GitHub, and we'll do feet and do mute command. Again, not the best commit message, but I just got to figure out what's going on with the server. For some reason, it's just not working, which is really strange. But it's building. Okay. Let's push. Okay, so it's gonna push, and if we go over to GitHub, we should get a new action that's happening. Okay, set of actions happening right now, and let me just double check my workflow. Okay. I really wish I could play music on YouTube when I'm streaming, but I don't want to get copyrighted. I'll probably use like non-copyrighted music or something. I don't even know. So we're just gonna wait for this to you know, fully build out. Again, it's the same thing that Heroku does underneath the hood. You can just look at the build logs and the logs just to see. It's literally the same thing. So this is gonna take some time, but in the meantime, hey OSMX. Not sure what your name stands for, but welcome to the stream. I should change the title of the stream though. Let me edit the stream. I forgot I should. Okay, so our job just completed. Our bot should have restarted. Let's just see PM2 status. It should say just started. I think uptime 12 seconds. Okay, I am praying that this works, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I cannot find module. Okay. Let's hope that it works. And it doesn't work for some reason. I don't know what's going on with this thing, because it was still on even though I had it off. Like, I really don't know what is going on. You know what? I'm gonna actually check something real quick, because this is gonna be a lot more annoying to figure out like offline when I check tomorrow, because this is actually very important. I really don't know what is going on. Like, I can look over here and look at all of my processes that are being ran on my server, and you can see that we have Docker container. Yeah, I'm not sure. Update Discord? No, I don't think it's Discord. You know what? I will update it, and if that actually is the case, then that would be crazy. I highly doubt it though, but I will update it just because you said to. Okay. You know what? Maybe, I don't even know, dude. I don't think it's a permissions issue, because, you know, it should work just fine here, but it's not working at all, and I really don't know why it's happening. But anyways, like, yeah, like I said, hopefully that you know, all this stuff made sense. You know, the whole deployment process. Again, like I said, I'm gonna have to figure this out. It's going to be very annoying to debug it, but I'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, the whole idea is to set up an automatic deployment server. So every single time you push code to GitHub, it's going to auto update on the backend server, and that's where our bot is being hosted on. And let's see. I don't know. What else should I do? Should I probably create some commands? I don't know, to be honest. I don't really. I've been coding a lot today, so just kind of wanted to just chill and just, you know, just test out the stream. And definitely will be having more streams in the future. But if you guys have any suggestions on, like, you know, what kind of again, videos, streams, whatnot, feel free to, you know, leave them down below. I would suggest, you know, you comment it on my Discord server or on my channel, because if you know, put it here, it's just gonna go away in the chat. You know what I mean? Let's see. I'm so tempted to figure out what in the world is going on with my server real quick, but I'm gonna have to spend some time debugging it. definitely not an environment variable issue. Can I make a puzzle? What kind of puzzle? You know, it'd be pretty cool if I was thinking about making something like tic-tac-toe for Discord. I think that'd be pretty cool. You know, the hardest, I think the hardest project that I've made for like a Discord bot was, I think it was, I'm trying to think. I think it was probably the anti-spam. Well, the anti-spam honestly took me about 30 minutes to think it through. And I actually wrote it out in like plain text to like, I actually wrote the like, the logic that I was like that I was thinking about. I would say that's probably the most logical project that I worked on. The most hardest project, I don't even know. We can take a look at some of my repositories and, you know, see, try to see. I think maybe the voice subscription bot that I made a while ago was probably the hardest one. Honestly, I personally think that the hardest part about Discord bots is maintaining it, in my opinion, like making sure that it works, you know, with a database. That's probably the hardest part, in my opinion. Because, you know, obviously, I mean, it's one thing that you want to make a bot for one server, but what if you want to make a bot that everyone else can use, you know? What would you do then? That's the real question. Trying to think what else I should probably do, or maybe I might end the stream and figure out what my issue is and probably come back maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I'm thinking about just doing more streams from now on, like live coding and you know, just making cool stuff. You know, I still want to make that, you know, Discord dashboard as I promised, but I'll probably do that live maybe, since we have a pretty handful of people, you know, interested in watching, you know, me live streaming myself coding. So that's definitely going to influence my decision with, you know, live streaming. You already have a bot in 300 server. Yeah, that's good. That's good. But what if you wanted that bot in multiple servers, though? I think that becomes the tricky part for a lot of bot developers, that they want to, you know, have one bot in multiple servers. But how do they do it? You know what I mean? Let's see. Maybe run through the project structure in the future. Yeah, you know, like I said, I don't like it's 8 p.m. right now. I've been up since 2:30 in the morning. So honestly, if I figure this out tonight, it wouldn't. If I don't figure this out tonight, it wouldn't really be the end of the world, because I'll just wake up tomorrow and I don't know. I'll figure something out. I just don't know why it's not working. Like, it's so weird. It was working all day and then it didn't work anymore. This is the life of a developer, you know. This is the life of a developer. Things happening that are just out of your control and you can't do anything about it. TS node, let's see. But yeah, I'll definitely go through the project structure in the future. This is a work in progress. I don't want to release it just yet because there are a lot of things that I want to fix. I want to make sure that the structure is all set. Everything is all set. So once I have all of the, you know, the foundation all set up, people can just easily clone it and make their commands. Like I showed you guys earlier, for those who didn't see, if you want to create a command, all you literally have to do is just create either, you know, a subfolder in the commands folder, create a new file, and then name the file whatever you want, say command, which is a class. You just have to follow this same structure. And once you get that structure down, everything else becomes very easy. And then you have this very clean, this very organized, modular piece of code that you can reuse over and over again. Okay, and I think that's one of the best things about developing when it comes to projects is being able to maintain code, being able to practice writing modular code, because it's one thing writing a whole bunch of code just all in one file, but it would be a lot better if we can write reusable code. That's why people write libraries, that's why people write npm packages, so you can write something one time, put it on the npm registry, and anyone, literally anyone, can just install that package and then use your source code. Assuming that there's no bugs, of course, but I don't think npm actually checks to make sure that your code is valid. Like, you can literally install, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, I'm not sure, I'd have to look into that. But if you install like a dependency on npm, and if it has bugs, then you're gonna get issues, obviously. So that's definitely 100% true. I'm not sure if I definitely do know they do security checks just to make sure there's nothing crazy going on. But yeah, today I was thinking about making like a video, like not like a vlog. Well, I was thinking about making a vlog, just like kind of like talking about the current state of my channel and my Discord server. And I don't know, I kind of got sidetracked. And I figured, I would just say this right now that I started the server like about a year ago, and honestly, like, I'm very proud of the community that I'm not saying but we have structured, because this isn't just all about me. This is just about everyone that's part of this community. I created this server. It wasn't primarily for my channel. Like, I had it linked in my channel for anyone to just join and just easily ask a question. But the main goal was to just, have people come into the server, ask questions, whatever it is, whether it be JavaScript, whether it be TypeScript, Python. The server wasn't just centered on just a YouTube channel. It wasn't just centered on just Discord.js videos. I created other channels so that people can ask, other types of questions. And I find it very interesting to attempt to solve other people's problems too, because there might be something that you don't know, that you might learn from, attempting to solve their problem. And before, in the past, I would say before last year, most of the questions, I was answering like a lot of questions every single day. And the thing is, the past couple months, the activity has been going up a lot, and there's been a lot of people who've been contributing to the server, which is what makes this server what it is today. And same thing with the channel. And so, if anything, I have the community members to thank for that, of course, because I understand when you run into an error, what do, right? You sometimes get frustrated about it. You want to post it on a help channel in hopes that someone sees it. I try my best to answer as many questions as possible. Sometimes I just get very busy with certain things, so I can't just answer every question. If I could, if I could write some kind of artificial, like some AI bot, like artificial intelligence bot, that can easily detect people's errors, I probably would, but that would probably take a really long time, and I don't think I have the skills for that just yet. But I've been noticing that a lot of people, have been joining the server and have been contributing and helping people out, and just being able to see that, just being able to wake up every single day at very early in the morning and just check my Discord and see all these channels populated with messages, it just puts a smile on my face, because there are people helping other people out. There are people working together on these same issues, the same solutions, okay, and they're just there to just solve issues with each other. And the one advice that I could give anyone when it comes to receiving help from someone is, a lot of times people will be like, dude, like, you're amazing, like, I can't, without you, my code would never work. The only thing I ever tell people is to just pass the information on. So if there's ever someone that, needs help, okay, just help them. Like, don't even question it, just help them. And obviously, if it's the right time, but you get what I mean. The information, you want to pass it along, and helping one person just goes a long way. So being able to help, people out on the server enables them to actively think, enables them to actively, figure out what their issues are, learn new things. And when someone else, let's say their friend wants to make a Discord bot, they can say, hey, look, I learned from this guy. Now I'm going to teach you. It's pretty much like, like an inheritance chain. You want to keep, passing down the knowledge. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Discord server. And of course, my moderators are pretty awesome people. They've been helping me keep the server maintainable. They've been helping with moderation and all sorts of things. So definitely giving a shout out to them. Their names are Dawes and Hype. They're very active. You've probably seen them on the server before, and they answer a lot of questions. And well, Dawes answers and mostly with Discord Pi, and Hype usually helps can speak helps with JavaScript. So yeah, and I guess the last thing I want to mention is the YouTube channel. I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, what are my plans for the future of my channel? And it's simple. I'm gonna keep, doing what I enjoy doing best, and I'm gonna keep making Discord bot videos. I'm gonna keep learning new things and passing the information down, so that way, you guys have like the resources to actually learn these things. But of course, aside from Discord bots, though, I've been thinking about like actually like branching out, and I'm sure you guys have seen. I've been uploading a lot of other videos on just other stuff related to programming. I even branched it a little bit and did like a video on I think how to set up how to like customize a terminal. And don't get me wrong, like I actually really like the whole programming thing. I enjoyed a lot, and I definitely don't see myself quitting it anytime soon for anything else. It's just a lot of fun, and plus it gives me more opportunity to force myself to learn new things, because I can just maybe read some documentation on something else perhaps that someone else might need help with, and I can just pass the information down along to them, or just explain in a way that they could probably understand it. So that's just my goals for the channel, is just to do more different types of videos aside from Discord bots. I've been thinking about making videos on like Express, which if you guys don't know what Express is, it's a web framework that allows you to build APIs. So that's how we build Discord dashboards, for example. Think about making full stack applications like with React, Angular, Vue, and just also focusing on fundamentals as well, such as the recent object-oriented programming course that I made. Explaining the basics of JavaScript, just pretty much things that you would want to Google and want to look up stuff on YouTube. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I could talk for like a whole day or so, but I think I'm gonna end the stream here. So, I would say this was a very successful test stream. I didn't really expect a lot of people watching, but we did get a lot of people watching me just doing random stuff, which is pretty awesome. So, yeah, thanks for checking it out. I really appreciate it. And again, if you aren't already, definitely join my Discord server. I'm gonna post a link in the chat just in case you guys aren't in it. Definitely join the server, and it's a great place to just ask questions and do all sorts of cool stuff like talk and chill and whatnot. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So can you take a look for my bot site? Still working on keembot.glitch.me. Just replace. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Is this like your dashboard or something? Let me see. Easy Discord bot. Oh, okay, cool. It's in 329 servers. Okay. So I'm guessing this is a bot that you made. Okay, here. Have a free shout out. This guy made a cool bot. I don't know what it does, but I'm assuming it's cool. Okay, I'm looking at the documentation. Currency, balance, profile, daily moderation, security. Show how the security system works. General, invite, vote, server info, fun. You made this. This is pretty awesome. This is actually really awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, again, check out keenbot.glitch.me is the website that this guy posted on the chat. So yeah, feel free to check it out, and if you like it, add it to your server. And yeah, again, thanks for watching, and there definitely will be more streams. And being able to stream is going to really enabled me to do more things that I never really was able to do, just like, making full stack applications with recording, because I get really frustrated whenever I just go like for an hour long and mess up just a little bit. And then now I can edit the videos with Premiere Pro, but I would rather just stream it, because I can see what you guys are saying, I can chat with you guys, I can answer questions and whatnot, and I can take breaks in between. So anyways, I'm done talking, so I'll see you guys in my next video or my next live stream. And yeah, see ya.